Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. I'm Parekh and here are the top stories of the day. Starting with updates from the Israel-Hamas war. Israel has killed senior Hezbollah commander Wissam Al-Tawil in an airstrike in southern Lebanon. The Lebanon-based group has confirmed his death. According to Hezbollah, the attack was carried out by an Israeli drone. 2 others were also killed in the attack. 3 people were killed and at least 15 others were injured following a strike in Gaza's Rafah. The strike also damaged a car carrying food supplies to the devastated region. Injured Palestinians were transported to the Kuwaiti hospital in Gaza for urgent medical treatment. Meanwhile, others tried to grab whatever was left of the food supplies amid an acute food shortage in the region. Israel says its army has uncovered a weapons factory in Gaza. The military said it was the largest arms production site found in the region so far. They added that the site was capable of producing both long-range missiles and standard munitions like mortar shells. According to Israel, the factory was connected through underground shafts to a tunnel network. These were allegedly used to transport the weapons to fighting units throughout the Gaza Strip. The group Palestinian Islamic Jihad has posted a new video of an Israeli hostage. The video shows Qasem pleading for his freedom. Qasem said he loved his family before breaking down into tears. He's an Israeli farmer who had been taken hostage during Hamas's October 7th attack on Israel. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has landed in Tel Aviv. He is headed for potentially difficult meetings with Israeli leaders. The U.S. has been calling for Israel to reduce civilian casualties during its actions in Gaza. Earlier, U.S. officials had also asked Israel to tone down its offensive in the enclave. However, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has refused to give in to pressure from Washington. He has repeatedly said that the war will continue until Hamas is wiped out. Iran will build up on counter-terrorism efforts with regional countries. Tehran has said it will strengthen cooperation with regional countries to jointly fight terrorism. The country's foreign ministry said that the West Asian countries, including Iran, are still the victims of certain countries' abuse of terror. The remarks come in response to deadly bomb blasts in the city of Kerman. Last week, at least 84 people were killed in twin bomb blasts near the tomb of the Iranian general Qasem Soleimani. Protesters calling for a ceasefire in Gaza interrupted U.S. President Joe Biden's speech in the state of South Carolina. A group of protesters began chanting, "Ceasefire now." The demonstrators were then escorted out of the premises. Later, Biden said that he had been working quietly with the Israeli government to encourage it to reduce its attacks in Gaza. However, he made no mention of a complete ceasefire. In other news, a vehicle crashed into an exterior gate of the White House complex in Washington yesterday. Officials have said that the man who was driving has been taken into custody and the incident is being investigated. No injuries related to the event were reported. In May last year, a truck driver was arrested after crashing his vehicle into security barriers near the White House. The driver said he wanted to kill Biden. A shooter opened fire at a hotel in the U.S. state of Minnesota. At least 3 people, including the shooter, died in the incident. Police have said that they do not know what caused the shooting and the motive is still under investigation. Meanwhile, an explosion at a hotel has rocked the U.S. state of Texas. At least 21 people were injured in the blast. 1 person was in critical condition and 4 were seriously injured. Fire officials believe that the blast was caused by some type of gas explosion. However, they haven't yet offered a definitive reason for the cause of the blast. French Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne has resigned. She has stepped down after less than 2 years in the job. Her resignation comes as French President Emmanuel Macron is widely expected to reshuffle his top team. Borne will remain in the post until a new Prime Minister takes over. It is not yet known who will be appointed as her successor. Pakistan has overturned a law that banned politicians with past criminal records from contesting in elections. This paves the way for Nawaz Sharif to run for Prime Minister for a fourth time. Sharif is considered a frontrunner in the upcoming election. This comes as his main rival and former Prime Minister Imran Khan is in jail and barred from contesting for 5 years. Pakistan is scheduled to hold parliamentary elections on February 8th. Taiwan's defense ministry has said that it will closely monitor Chinese balloons. However, it is currently not planning to shoot them down. On Monday, 4 Chinese balloons were spotted over the Taiwan Strait. 2 of them also crossed over Taiwan, which Taipei said threatened their aviation safety. Taiwan is on high alert for Chinese military and political activity ahead of the presidential elections this weekend. In climate news, winter storms blanketed parts of the central United States, leaving roads, farmlands and vehicles covered in thick snow. Snowplows were seen removing snow in Iowa. In neighboring Nebraska, cars drove slowly on snow-covered streets. Vast landscapes in Oklahoma were also blanketed in snow. The U.S. National Weather Service said it expected a major storm to impact large portions of the central and southern plains, the American Midwest, and the southern and eastern U.S. through midweek. Schools were closed and electricity failed in several regions across Central and Eastern Europe as a cold snap moved in from Scandinavia. Poland saw overnight temperatures plunge to minus 23 degrees Celsius. In Latvia, a temperature reading of minus 29.5 degrees was recorded. Hungary's National Weather Service warned of wind gusts up to 90 kilometers per hour. Around 22,000 people were without power in Moldova, and snowfall forced flight cancellations in the country and in neighboring Romania. Millions of plastic pellets washed up on the coast of the Galicia region in northwestern Spain, triggering environmental concerns. Hundreds of volunteers in Spain were seen sifting through sandy beaches with colanders and shovels. The pellets, which are used to produce daily use items from water bottles to shopping bags, are known to add to the problem of plastic making its way to the world's water bodies. The pellets surfaced in Galicia after at least one container fell from a vessel off the coast of neighboring Portugal earlier this month. A former top NASA scientist has warned that the internationally agreed threshold of 1.5 degrees Celsius warming globally will be passed this year. James Henson, also known as the godfather of climate science, said that the limit will be passed for all practical purposes by May 2024. However, most climate scientists say that the threshold will be breached in the 2030s. According to a report, Azerbaijan, the host of this year's COP29 summit, plans to increase its fossil fuel production by a third over the next decade. The claims were made in an analysis shared by The Guardian. The forecast indicates that the COP29 host will grow its annual gas production by about 12 billion cubic meters over the next 10 years. The next decade is considered crucial, where countries must cut down on fossil fuel production to limit global heating. In Peru, heavy rain caused widespread destruction and triggered floods and landslides in the country's central regions. Videos showed flooded homes and people walking in water up to their knees. Peruvian authorities said that a series of heavy rains have come in advance of the El Niño natural phenomenon and are not related to it. They added that around 398 districts could be affected by landslides, endangering over 1 million citizens. Scientists have launched an investigation into microplastic pollution in Antarctica. The experts are using samples from the region's water, sediment and penguin droppings and are analyzing them using nuclear science. The investigation is a joint effort between the International Atomic Energy Agency, or the IAEA, and the Argentine Antarctic Institute. Now onto business and tech news. Share prices of Boeing fell 7% in midday trading yesterday. This was following the temporary grounding of some of its best-selling 737 MAX jets. America's aviation regulator grounded the jets after a piece of the aircraft blew out of an Alaskan airline flight mid-air. United Airlines has also said it found loose bolts on plug doors during 737 MAX 9 inspections. Alaska Airlines also found loose parts on multiple grounded MAX 9 aircraft. This has raised new concerns among industry experts about the shoddy manufacturing practices at the world's largest plane maker. Meanwhile, Indonesia has temporarily grounded 3 Boeing 737 MAX 9 planes operated by Lion Air. This is despite the planes having different configurations from the ones that have been grounded in the US. Indonesia has suspended the use of 3 Boeing 737 MAX 9 planes until further notice. These were the only Boeing jets that the country had. In October 2018, a Boeing jet operated by Lion Air crashed in Indonesia, killing all 189 people on board. Airbus is reportedly nearing an order from US-based Delta Airlines for dozens of wide-body jets. A deal could be made public as early as Friday, when Delta reports its fourth quarter earnings result. In 2022, Delta placed an order for 100 Boeing 737 MAX 10 jets. However, it has traditionally been an Airbus customer. According to a report, NVIDIA is planning to launch an artificial intelligence chip designed for China. It aims to begin mass production in the second quarter of this year. The chips will reportedly comply with US export rules aimed at Beijing. In October last year, the US announced plans to hold shipments of advanced artificial intelligence chips to China. The Biden administration is aiming to introduce a rule aimed at the functioning of the gig economy. The rule will require companies to treat their workers as employees rather than contractors. This will make the workers eligible for legal protections and enhanced benefits from the company. The rule is likely to be announced as soon as this week. This will affect a range of companies, including Uber, Lyft, and DoorDash. Hewlett-Packard Enterprise is reportedly in talks to buy Juniper Networks. The deal could value Juniper at about $13 billion. Juniper is an American firm that develops products such as routers, switches, and network management software. A deal between the two companies will likely be announced as early as this week. Video game software provider Unity Software will reportedly lay off around 25% of its workforce. This will wipe out about 1,800 jobs at the company. The deep job cuts will affect all teams, regions, and areas of the business. This is Unity's largest layoff ever and is expected to be completed by the end of March. TikTok's parent company ByteDance is in talks to sell its gaming business. It is in talks with multiple prospective buyers, including Tencent. In November, ByteDance had said it would retreat from the gaming business. This is to focus on its other core businesses. Apple's iPhone sales in China dropped by 30% in the first week of 2024. This is according to analysts at investment firm Jefferies. This adds to signs of growing competitive pressures for Apple in the region. It comes as the company faces stiff competition from rivals such as Huawei. Moving to sports, let's start with cricket. India's Surya Kumar Yadav has been ruled out of cricket for the next 8 to 9 weeks. The batter will undergo surgery for a hernia. He will travel to Germany for the medical operation. Yadav had already been sidelined for the upcoming T20 series against Afghanistan. The first T20 match between India and Afghanistan is on Thursday. South African wicketkeeper batter Heinrich Klaasen has hung his gloves in the Test format. Klaasen's retirement from Test matches has come as a surprise. The 32-year-old cricketer has played only 4 Test matches for South Africa. Now, Qasem will only play ODI and T20 cricket for the Proteas. Mohammad Rizwan has been named vice-captain of Pakistan's T20 squad. The wicketkeeper batter will take over as vice-captain with immediate effect. Meanwhile, pacer Shaheen Shah Afridi will continue to be T20 captain for Pakistan. Moving to football, Manchester United beat Wigan Athletic 2-0 in the FA Cup. Diogo Dalot scored in the 22nd minute for Man United. Bruno Fernandes extended the lead for the Red Devils on a penalty in the second half. With the win, Man United have now entered the fourth round of the tournament. Former France and Arsenal striker Thierry Henry opened up about his mental health issues. Henry said that he had depression throughout his playing career. The 46-year-old added that he still suffers from periods of depression, which spiked during the pandemic. Henry said, and I quote, "During the coronavirus pandemic, I used to cry almost every day." FIFA has ruled out sanctions against Brazil. This comes after Brazil's football president Ednaldo Rodrigues was reinstated by the Supreme Court. Earlier, Rodrigues had been removed by a local court and replaced by an interim president. The local court had also ordered elections to replace Rodrigues. Then, FIFA threatened to ban Brazil from all international matches and tournaments. Meanwhile, Brazil said goodbye to football legend Mario Zagallo. The 92-year-old died due to natural causes. Zagallo was the first person ever to win the FIFA World Cup as a player and a manager. Zagallo had won 4 World Cups for Brazil in his professional career. Germany's World Cup winning captain and coach Franz Beckenbauer has died at the age of 78. Nicknamed the Emperor, Beckenbauer is among one of the 3 people to have won the FIFA Men's World Cup both as a player and manager. He won the World Cups of 1974 and 1990 for West Germany. Beckenbauer also played club football for Bayern Munich throughout his career. In basketball, the Los Angeles Lakers beat the Los Angeles Clippers in a nail-biter last night. The final score of the match was 106-103, with the Clippers falling short by 3 points. Laker LeBron James was the highest scorer of the match with 25 points. Pro golfer Tiger Woods has ended his 27-year partnership with sportswear maker Nike. The reason for the split has not been disclosed. Woods has been an ambassador for Nike since the year 1996. After the split, Nike released a picture on their social media with a caption that said, "It was a hell of a round, Tiger." In entertainment news, rapper A$AP Rocky has pleaded not guilty to charges that he pulled a gun on a former friend and colleague during an argument in Hollywood. The 35-year-old faces 2 counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm and 1 of using the weapon during a 2021 confrontation with Terrell Efron. The rapper had been arrested in 2022 in Los Angeles. French actor and director Samuel Thies has been accused of rape by a crew member on his latest directorial project. Thies was fired from his own directorial project after the accusation. The crew member alleges that he was too inebriated to consent to a sexual encounter with Thies. He alleged that he spent the night in their rented apartment and that he was raped by Thies in the following morning. Thies, however, claims that the encounter was consensual. Actor Jonathan Majors, who was found guilty last month of attacking his ex-girlfriend, said he was reckless in his relationship. His first televised remarks since a New York jury found him guilty come ahead of his sentencing. Majors said he should have never been in a car with his then-girlfriend Grace Jabari. Prosecutors alleged Majors assaulted her in a hired car in March, leaving her with a broken finger and other injuries. Majors, however, maintains that he was not responsible for any of her injuries. Actor Idris Elba launched a new campaign to combat knife crime in Britain, which has surged in recent years, with many of the victims being teenaged boys. Elba has been demanding an immediate ban on machetes and so-called zombie knives, which are bladed weapons originally inspired by zombie films. To kick off his Don't Stop Your Future campaign, piles of neatly folded clothes were laid in rows across London's Parliament Square to represent those who have died from knife crime. American actor Angela Bassett said she is thrilled to have been awarded an honorary Oscar, a prize she is due to be presented with on January 10th during a ceremony at the annual Governors Awards. Bassett has been nominated for Oscars twice, including a Best Supporting Actress nod for her role in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. The Golden Globes bounced back from years of scandal and dwindling audiences to draw 9.4 million viewers. The ratings represented a marked improvement for the Globes that once ranked second only to the Oscars but have been in crisis and even nearly ceased to exist in recent years. Last year, television ratings for the event had slumped to a new low of just 6.3 million viewers. Paris honored late British music icon David Bowie by naming a street after him in the French capital's southeast. The city immortalized Bowie on his 77th birth anniversary. The tribute celebrates Bowie's first Paris performance in 1965, which was his first outside the UK, and his lasting impact on music, fashion, and culture. Bowie died of cancer in 2016. Actor Willem Dafoe has received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. The 68-year-old actor, known for his roles in films like The Lighthouse, Spider-Man, and more recently Poor Things, said he hopes his art makes the world a better place. Dafoe's star was the first given by the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce in the new year. Actors Lisa Bonet and Jason Momoa have filed for divorce 18 years after they became a couple. 56-year-old Bonet and 44-year-old Momoa announced their separation around 2 years ago. The petition cites irreconcilable differences as the reason for the split. The two have agreed on how to split their assets and agreed to have joint custody of their 16-year-old daughter and 15-year-old son. Country singer Marin Morris and songwriter Ryan Hurd have reached a divorce settlement 3 months after they made their separation official. The couple was married for 5 years and share a 3-year-old son. The Borne singer will also pay Ryan $2,100 monthly in child support. Marin filed for divorce in October and cited irreconcilable differences as the reason for their split. That's all for this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching and stay tuned to Firstpost.